Hi, Colin here from Colin's Engage. I have a very nice surprise. I've got something very different to show you, and it's going to make a great difference to my layout because it's just different stock to run. So I'll show you what I've got, and I'll just go through some of the things I have purchased over the last year or so, from the last time I did a fleet update, the first time I did it. So let's see what the surprise is. Alright then, so what's special? What have I got? Well, I got something what does run in Britain in the modern day. I haven't seen it run on any models yet, either at exhibitions or on YouTube. It's a DC model when it's made, but I found someone to alter it. Now, when I purchased it last year at Whalley, and I found out it was DC, it was a bit disappointing because it was a very good bargain. And the bargain was, if I could get someone to make it into DC, instead of paying 200 and I think it was about £35 for the livery I've got, or the newer colour livery for £265, I think it was £99 or £98 and so many pence. And I thought that was a bargain, but when I found out it was only DC, I thought, oh. And I said, I got it from Gagemaster, it was their show special. I says, can you change this into DCC? He says, well, I know people have had an attempt, but I don't know of any. I went, oh, okay. So I thought, right, I'm going to have to go around shops at Whalley, the stalls, and ask people. I went to a company I used to make my 37 have sound. The guy who would know if it could be done was not at the show, he was on holiday. Great, he should be that, he should be on holiday if that's what he wants to do. I went to a company, I thought they'll definitely be able to do it. And they said, yes, we've done one, but we'll never do another. A nightmare. So I thought, oh, okay. And then I went round other companies, and then I remembered someone who may be able to do it. And they said, well, not till next year, it won't be able to be done. So I thought, all right then. So I thought, right, let's go and ask these independent guys who have got a little table and they show you what skills they've got. And by Jove, they do have some skills. And I found a guy who I went asked, do you fit DCC? Make trains into DCC? He says, yeah. And I told him, and he said, well, I haven't done one of them. So the very nice gentleman shut his stall, or just left it unattended, and we went to Gagemaster to have a look. And he just asked a few questions, and he said, yeah, I should be able to do it. So I bought it, gave it straight to him. It wasn't in my hands for very long. We went back to his stall, his table, and he couldn't get into the engine. He says, I can't see how you get into it, but eventually he worked it out. It took a good 20 minutes of patience. And he had a look. He says, right, it's very full. He says, but I'll make it work. Yep, leave it with me. So I left it with him. He was going away. I didn't expect him to do it before Christmas. He was going away. Different things happened. He had a bad batch of decoders. by chance he found this out before he sent it to me, so he said, look, I'm going to order another batch. Anyway, it's come, and I'm excited. I just love it, and it's different. And it comes in a green box. And for those people who know what that means, it's a Kato product. And what it is a Eurostar in Engage. I like the way they wrap them. It comes in this binder and it looks like a book when you see it. And there's a clip down the side, and when you open it up, there's a beautiful engine inside. The instructions, the decoders, and then the actual engine itself. The very top one is the engine, and then all the coaches. Now, I've never fitted these type of connections together, so I'm going to have to be careful. I can't be hand-fisted with it, otherwise I'll brick it. But doesn't it look lovely? I picked the early colour. To be quite honest, now I know I can do it. If I ever see it at a good price again, I'll get the new livery. But it's just something different. And as I say, they do run in this country, so they can run on my layout. So I'll put it together, take it out of the box. Oh, I'm going to have to change the code, because naturally it's come with the code which is standard number 3. So I'm going to change it to 3005, and then I'll connect it all together, put it on the track, and give it a run. So I'll be back to you in a short while with the next stage. So I'll get my piece of my programming track out. I don't know if I've said this in the past, but this is my programming track. Now, I did this so I could have a practice of ballasting on here, doing some path and then rocks, and all this is static grass all up there. And it was a practice, and I thought, well, I can also use it as my programming track. And all I do is, on one of the ends of the piece of track, I just clip some crocodile clips on, connect it to my controller, and away I go. Now, these engines of Kato and the coaches clip in different ways. Now, from the engine part to the first coach is this particular mechanism. It's very fine, and what you do is you angle the train up to the other coach, which, if I get it out, I'm not going to push it together because I need a bit more space to do this. But basically, there's the clip, you angle it like that, and you push them together. So it goes together and in. And that's how that particular mechanism works. So I can put that on the programming track. And some of the connections to join them, because they have this bogie what's in the middle, and I assume it's to cut friction down to get so they go faster because there's less wheels. So it's got a set of wheels at that end, and then it has this one where it joins on to a smaller coach there, which doesn't have a bogie at that end, but it has again a bogie there, which is split between the two coaches. Now this has a clip on like that, and what you do is in there is, if I aim it right way, there's a slot and there's a small pin in the middle. What that hooks onto. So you just push them together in such a fashion, which I'll do this one because it's a little bit easier. You push it together quite firmly and it clicks, and that's it, and it turns. So that's great. Oops. And then this is the other end, which I need to put on the programming track to program. So I will do that next. I'll program my number in, and as I said, it's going to be 3005. I always work on 4 numbers on my controller. And what I do, again, I have shown it in the past, but I'll just go over it again. Under here, that is my layout connection, and when I want to connect my programming track, just pull it out and put it into that one, which is got these crocodile clips on what I connect to the track. So I never program it through that one. That's just to control the layout. So I'll get on with that. So I'll program the code number in and I'll get back to you. Well, there it is on the track. I've managed to actually get it all clipped together. It's slightly scary because you just don't want to break out, but now I know how to do it. I believe you can get another set of 3, and then from here to there, that's a set of 3, but naturally it won't have that bit on, which is part of the engine, I would say, to make it into a 9. But I'm quite happy having 6 coaches, and that, in all fairness, helps me because that's like 8 coaches, is that including the engines. I think now I know the length of that. I may do another, allow for another engine on the front of 8 coaches to here, and then cut the station down just to give a bit more clearance over here, and just move those over to go around there. So let's see it go. This is the first time. Well, except, no, I do apologise. No, it's not the first time. I put it on the other side of the layout where there was a bit more room. So it's in forward. And let's see it go. There she goes. Now this is the first time round, so I'm just going to run it slowly, because the one thing I was worried about, had I laid my track down for this kind of a coach and clipping system, because if it didn't go around it would be a bit of a blow. So there it goes underneath there, underneath the hillside where my town is going to be. I'll just increase it a little bit. Sorry for the movement, but I have to keep up with it. And excuse the mess around here, because this is where I'm working. And it goes round. Now let's see what kind of speed it does. Well, that's at speed 40 on my controller, and it's on 128 steps, or 26 steps, sorry. That's how my controller's set up. That's 50. Wow, it runs really lovely. And the line it's going through on at the moment, that line is the run through for the clockwise track going through the station, but not against the platform. So let's see it run a bit faster. It's running at 60. And it runs over all the double slips and crossings, lovely. Runs better than some of the others, because of the flanges of the wheels and stuff. They just catch different parts, they don't come off. And that's running at 90. So going over a double slip here, just smooth as anything. So that's great. Now will it run the other way? Because at the moment it's pulling. So we'll slow it down. Got a nice running sound to it. I know it sounds a bit silly. So that's just slowing it down in tens. Now let's see what it goes like backwards. I'll use the wheel to speed it up. Won't go that fast to start with until it's done a circuit. Not that I would push it, but it's nice to know my track lane allows it to go both ways. Must have done something right. if it gets round. Once it gets onto this straight here, past that point, then I know it runs round. Yeah. In a second it will come back into view. Here it comes. Wow, doesn't that run lovely? So I'll get the other engine out, the 66, what I've just got, to show you that running by. Other things I've got since the last update of engines I have. This Class 67, which is very nice. I've got those two wagons. And these wagons, they're new. You have to excuse the mess. This 56 Network Rail, because I wanted it for my Network Rail wagons. I've got this very old 47 with two snowplows. The snowplows were from the Engage Society. I got the Eddie Stobart tanker wagon, and then I've got these two new transits. One's a Network Rail and one is a Stobart. And what else did I get? I do have excuse the movement. I got a Class 24, and then I got these cold wagons which have graffiti on. I think that's great, that. EWS, and that will go with that. Not necessarily all the time, but at the moment it is. And I got that Class 22. That's a nice little runner as well. There's other bits and pieces. I've just got some more flexi-track ready for my gantry to put two lines on there. I'm just going to do a test a little bit later. The other engine I got, which was lovely, this was it's a Stobart rail. That's a very good runner. To say it's an old one, but it's like running and it's great. And that's from a Stobart rail and going into my gantry. I have given this a second coat at the bottom, and then on each side on that part. That segment's had 3 coats on now, that won't have any more, and I'm going to have to give it a test to see if it still works. Now I've put some paint on, these little things. Anyway, I'll get this other Class 66 going and I'll show you it going. Done. I've made some of my own fencing. I'm quite pleased with it. It's instead of that Don't get me wrong, do like that, but I decided it may be, for the area it's in, a bit more robust to do it in this. So that's it for another update. I'm going to carry on painting my gantry. I'm going to do a little test, as I said. And there goes the Eurostar. And the 66 watt has just been done, is going past in the carless livery, carless rail. So I hope that was interesting, and I will get another update on in the near future with the gantry, maybe when I've fully painted what I've built so far. And thanks for subscribing. Any new people, if you'd like to subscribe, very grateful, and click the like and leave a comment. I'll be interested to see what your thoughts are. Okay, bye.